Okay. Hi, everybody. Just getting this the slideshow set up for you here. Okay, so welcome back to this week's Travel Talk. I know a lot of people are very excited for this week's talk because we're going to be getting into our 2025 season lineup. Highly anticipated, very hardly worked on by all the members of our team here at the Women's Travel Club. So we are so excited to bring this to you today. I'm joined by Marianne, who, as most of you know, is why we are essentially here for the Women's Travel Club, our CEO, and she is also in here with me. Hi, Marianne.
Hi, Allie. I can't tell you how excited I am for this. We have worked very hard to get 2025 all together, and I think we have such a great lineup of tours. We have some really good classics that we do often that are back because we know they are definitely member favorites. And we have some really exciting new tours. So I can't wait to kind of really quickly, because we do have a fair number of tours, so we're going to go through them fairly quickly. But I can't wait to touch on some of the kind of points of each tour, what you can look at. Definitely, if you're watching and there's something you're interested in, you have more questions, reach out to us. We love to chat about the tours and to talk about the inclusions, what's in them. So anything that you think of as you come along, you can chat in here, but for sure, specific questions, send us a message after the show and we will get back to you with the answers, or give us a call. Irene loves to chat with people, so give Irene a call. I think she's lonely this afternoon.
Definitely. I'm kidding, Irene. I'm kidding. No, but honestly, we're always ready and available to talk to you guys about any of the tours that we have going forward. This is our job. We love what we do, and we love to talk about what we do. So if you have any questions, big or small, and if you're on the website, be sure to utilize that chat button in the bottom right-hand corner. It's a green button. You'll see maybe for the most part, Marianne's little icon sitting there waiting for somebody to reach out to her. So we're always ready and available. But that being said, let's get into what we have for you guys. So we've kind of categorized these tours because we try to make sure that there's something for everybody. If you don't really like beach holidays, well, why don't we go to Europe? If you don't want to go to Europe, we're going to go to Africa and we're going to go on a rail tour. So with that being said, let's just jump into the beach holidays that we have planned for you guys. So just a quick overview here. Our first tour of the year actually is a body holiday in St. Lucia, and that's running from January 15th to the 22nd. Another one we have coming up is Bali in Indonesia, which is one of my bucket list places to go, from March 9th to the 20th. And in the works right now, we are cultivating a Hawaii tour, and that is coming soon. So definitely keep an eye out for that if you're interested. But talking about St. Lucia Body Holiday, so like I said, it is from January 15th to the 22nd. I've put in some of the inclusions here for you to look through, but essentially this is a tour to connect you with your body. Again, all of our groups or all of our tours are small group tours, so you will not only be able to connect with yourself, but to connect with other people. And it's 7 nights, so you have luxury accommodations, all food and beverages. This is something that you and Michelle have worked quite hard on, haven't you, Marianne?
Yeah. Well, Body Holiday, if you don't know, Body Holiday is actually the name of the resort. It is an all-inclusive resort in beautiful St. Lucia. People that know the Caribbean, St. Lucia is just a beautiful island. It's a volcanic island. It's very lush, just perfect for a place like Body Holiday, that not only is it a 5-star all-inclusive resort, it is also a health resort. And your stay there includes your normal like meals, drinks, alcoholic drinks, everything that an all-inclusive would include. Also includes your spa treatments. So you're going to get an allotment of spa treatments, plus you get the relaxation and fitness classes, consultations. Like the list of the inclusions is crazy. It is world renowned and quite a destination in itself. A couple things to know. Right now, we do have a very time limited special promotion on. So this promotion will give you a full package, including flights from Toronto and your airport transfers in St. Lucia to get to the resort for the almost less than, in some cases, depending on the room category and occupancy, than it does for just the resort itself. And I know people are going to say, well, I'm nowhere close to Toronto, which I understand. So we have a couple options in that situation. If you are in Canada, reach out, because we can do this same promotion from other gateways in Canada or get you to Toronto as part of this promotion. If you're not in Canada and you're not somewhere that's like a quick flight maybe into Toronto to take advantage of this, because it might be cheaper than piecing it together. But if not, we can still piece it together and do the resort separately at the resort only prices, and then help you with getting your flights organized from your local gateway. But in a lot of cases, if you're not, out on the West Coast or something, it might work out less expensive to get like a short little flight to Toronto and then go down there. But if you are on the West Coast and you would like to get a package price out of, say, Vancouver or Canadian Gateway, it is a Canadian supplier that's offering this special promotion, and that is why we can't do out of an American Gateway. But if you do want a price, just reach out to us. We can get you pricing for anything. If you want a shorter stay, if you want a longer stay, we can really play with this package a lot. So if it's something you're interested in, do reach out. The only thing we might not be able to do is if you're really trying to, work around something or change things a bit, we might not be able to match you with a roommate to take advantage of the double occupancy. You will see that single occupancy is fairly expensive for this. It's just the way the resort works. It is, such a popular destination. It's really a one-of-a-kind destination in the Caribbean for what it offers. So they don't offer us a lot of perks when it comes to taking up single rooms, because it is a fairly small resort and they don't want to give up all their rooms. That's why it's more expensive for the single supplement. But that, in a nutshell, is St. Lucia's body holiday.
Awesome. Moving on to the next beach hopping. Looking at Bali, which is, like I said previously. Yeah, I wish. Like I said previously, somewhere I've always wanted to go. Quite a far journey to get to, but once you're there, and I'm saying this as I have friends and family who've been here, absolutely worth it. It's just one of those places that really blows you away in terms of the environment and the atmosphere and the scenes and the sights. So I've included a map down here so you guys can kind of see where you'll be traveling to. But this one is an 11-night superior accommodations. You have lots of really cool inclusions like a yoga lesson, an authentic cooking class. You're going to visit the sacred monkey forest, farewell beach barbecue, which barbecues are great, but when they're on the beach, they're even better. Let's be honest. But this one, I really wish that I could go on because I've always wanted to go to Bali. Have you been to Bali, Marianne?
I have. I actually hosted this tour last year. Sorry, I'm just replying on the chat. So
Yeah.
I did this tour and it was phenomenal. What I can tell you is we have this tour at excellent price. We've actually taken our same classic tour and made it into an essential tour. So the price for this is much less than it would have been even last year. And anybody that's traveling knows that the prices have been going crazy. Then that's just across the board. I think it's, pent up from COVID and travel went crazy. And with that demand, prices have gone crazy. Hopefully it's going to settle down and get a little bit. I'm hoping it's kind of like the real estate market where, things go crazy and then settle back down because I really, some of the pricing we are getting for stuff that comes across my desk, I'm like, what? That can't be. So trust me, it's not coming from us. But this tour, we've actually, by kind of reconfiguring it, making it into an essential tour, the price is excellent. It has still all the great inclusions. You're going to see the traditional healer. You do yoga, you do a cooking class, a batik class. There's just lots of everyday inclusions. You have an excellent tour guide with you the whole time who looks after you very well. And the accommodations are beautiful. They're truly, really beautiful, I think 4-star, almost 5-star accommodations. So if you want to see Bali and you want to see Bali at a good price, this is just a great option with, everything you would need, which is like the essential tour kind of motto. It's got everything you would need at a really good price. So I think it's a really good option.
Definitely. It's one of those places that if you can get it at a price like this, jump on it, because Bali is known, from where I sit in North America, it's very far away. And to get there and to organize things like flights and accommodation, like those things rack up very, very fast and easily. So if I had the option, or I have the option to go on a tour like this, I'm jumping on it right away. So I highly advise those of you who have ever been interested in this destination, take a serious look at our tour page and the pricing, because you will not be disappointed. That being said, I know you had something. Oh, sorry. Go on, Marianne.
Yeah, just I don't think we have a slide for Hawaii. So I are in the process of getting it all set up and together. So I do have just a few kind of comments and notes if anybody's looking at our Hawaii tour. It is up for pre-booking right now. What pre-booking means is that as we're kind of getting all the final details together for tours, so generally those are the exact dates, because we're still securing hotel space and making sure everything lines up, and the exact price that comes with the exact dates. And so we're getting those kind of very important components together. But it might be something that you look at and you think, I am interested in that. Obviously, I need more details, but it's something I would definitely be interested in. So we give you the opportunity to put your name down as I'm interested. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't take anything. You just simply are telling us, I'm interested. Let me know when you have full details. So we do that. And then once we do have full details, we send it to you first before it goes out to everybody else, so that you know it's available, and it gives you the opportunity to book it. And we'll give you $100 off the price as just a little thank you for letting us know that you are interested, because, some tours, if we get no pre-bookings on them, we're like, nobody's really interested in this right now. Why? We're not going to go to the trouble of putting it out there if people aren't going to want it this year. So that pre-book list is important for us. Anything that you see that you really think you might be interested in, don't hesitate to pre-book it, because it doesn't cost anything, and it just means you get an email when it's out there to say, hey, it's here. Are you interested? So Hawaii falls under that category. It's still pre-booking right now. We should have all the final details. We've been just kind of working on it in the background. It will be for February. It does visit 4 islands. It's going to include your flights between those islands. Beautiful resort style accommodations, and it has a great mixture of inclusions and some free time, so that you do have time to enjoy the beach and the beautiful resorts and the pools and the things that you really want to enjoy while you're in Hawaii, besides all the great inclusions and activities that are planned. So if you go on our website and just go under tours, there's a select destination drop down. You can pick any destination you're interested in, search, and that'll bring up those. Or you can go through the whole list. But if you don't want to go through the whole list, you can narrow it down by going through that search.
Perfect. Thank you for that, because Hawaii seems like one of those destinations that it's so like exotic, and it is. But then you remember it's in America, and I'm like, well, I live in Canada. Why haven't I been there yet? Like, it seems so easy and accessible. Like, why haven't I done it? So that's definitely something that is on my bucket list too. Getting into not just boat excursions, but private boat excursions. These are tours where it will be women's travel club only embarking on these boats. So what we have under that category would be our Galapagos Island cruise running November 9th to the 16th, our Champagne region barge cruise running May 8th to the 14th, and then we will be doing our Turkey tour and yacht cruise, and that is going twice this year, actually. They're leaving in the short few weeks, so anybody here that's going on that tour, very excited for you guys, and good luck and have fun. But just moving into these tours, so the Galapagos, it's 7 nights aboard the Galapagos Angel. And you start, so I couldn't quite, just you look at the map on the screen here, I couldn't quite get the picture of Quito, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Quito, thank you. I see the QU and I go, but Quito, so there is 2 nights hotel in Quito before getting on the cruise and going ahead with that journey. But the cruise, I love cruising. I love being on boats. And on this boat, you have a lot of options, things to do. You have the snorkeling equipment, you have the use of kayaks, and there's lots of different excursions to be had at each port. So I think we see here, yes, so you will have a women's travel club tour host with you. Nudge, nudge, Marianne. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so if you're interested in the Galapagos cruise tour, these would be the inclusions that we have prepared for you there. Is there anything you'd like to mention about Galapagos, Marianne?
What can I say? Okay. One thing for this tour is this is a new yacht for us, and it's beautiful. She is just a beautiful yacht. She has a hot tub. It's truly a 5-star kind of experience on her. So how it works with Galapagos is you fly into Quito. The hotel you stay at is right at the airport, and then the next day you fly from that Quito airport into the Galapagos Islands. Then you will board the ship and you're on her for 7 nights. Every day you'll go to different kind of destinations along different islands and stop. You'll go, sometimes there's like 2 excursions every day. So usually a morning excursion, then you go back to the ship for lunch, and then in the afternoon there's an afternoon excursion. Sometimes they will be boat based. So it could be you're just going out in the I can't think of the word. Little boats. I was gonna say dinghy, but that's not the word I wanted. Well,
it works.
So you go out in a little boat, you go around. A lot of times you're going onto the islands and you're doing kind of hikes. It's a very active tour. So on the islands, it's a lot of hiking, a lot of trekking. It's not like very hard hiking, but it is hiking. So you have to be a little bit mobile. It's not kind of crazy trekking. It's not like some of our big trekking tours. It's not that bad of hiking. But you do have to be fairly mobile to get around, to get in and out of the zodiacs. That's the word I was looking for. The zodiacs, to get onto the island and to get back in and to get back onto the boat. But yes, in Galapagos, I don't know anybody's done Galapagos. It's absolutely amazing. It's like the animals are there everywhere. You don't even have to look for them. It's not like Africa where you go around and look for animals. They are just always there. There's so much you're going to see from the water, like sea turtles and sharks and manta rays and just penguins. And then, of course, on the land, you're going to see like the seals, the birds, just more birds than you can imagine. Iguanas, marine iguanas. Is really, really kind of a definite once in a lifetime destination. It's one of those places everybody should see once.
And then moving on from there, kind of a different side of the coin is the Champagne barge cruise. So this one, for anybody who has kept up with our 2024 tours or is on our upcoming, I think, is it the Provence cruise? That's our private cruise that we have
Provence
going out this year. Yeah, Provence this year. Champagne we've decided to do as next year. So kind of in the same stream as the Provence private cruise. It is, again, just the group from the Women's Travel Club who you'll be with, which I always think is really special because when you're going on a tour with us, I feel like some of the main, what's the word I'm looking for, draws is the community aspect and the connectivity we're able to supply to you through these tours by meeting and connecting with the other members. And when you're on a boat like this, which is a barge, not too big, it's not like it has to be small enough to get through the rivers, mind you. Big enough, though, that you can still have your own space if you need it. But it allows you the chance to really get to know who you're traveling with, and you get this shared experience together that nobody else has. It makes it almost a little bit more exclusive because the things that you're going to see on this tour, this cruise, the people you're going to do it with, that's once in a lifetime. And I think regardless of if it's this year or next year, it's something that I think is worth hopping on to just because of that. Forget about the fact that you're in the Champagne region of France and you're going to be touring, having French cheese tastings and wine tastings and a falconry show of all things. That's very unique. But you're also going to be doing it with a group of people that you will come to know and love, hopefully. And then this year, how many people are on the barge cruise, Marianne? Is it the same numbers for this barge cruise?
I think it's like about 12. And that's one of the things with any of these small boat charters that were so the Galapagos and the Champagne and Turkey. It's such a small group. So and you just have the staff there looking after you and your group. So it is truly, I've done all of these, and they are always so much fun, and the groups just end up having such a good time. I can tell you on these French barges, everybody that went on it was one of the favorite things that they've done. You are so well taken care of. The wine is free flowing like you've never seen between like all your lunch, your dinner, everything. Every course is paired with different wines. You have like something like 6 staff on the boat looking after you. And that's a fairly good number considering there's only, 10, 12 women on the boat. The boat moves very slowly through the canals and the locks. So at any point during the day, if it's, moving to a new port, you can get off and walk along the pathways. There's typically like a path that follows along these canals in France. And so you can walk, you can ride the bike. They have bicycles on there. You can take the bicycle off and ride it kind of up and down the path as the barge is moving its way up. So it's a very slow moving. They also have a hot tub on them. The food is absolutely outstanding. It is all chef prepared, 3 huge meals a day. You will definitely not go hungry. In the evenings, it was on the one I was on, which was in the Burgundy region, which I loved, was, everybody was either sitting in groups playing cards, playing games. The one night they started playing music and everybody was dancing, and it's just a great kind of atmosphere and so much fun. Any of these small boat charters, really, if you're thinking, I want to, get to know some women, I want to get to, kind of make some new travel friends. But and also, especially if you're not into a really busy tour, like you don't want to be every day kind of, moving to a different hotel, moving to a different location, or longer kind of bus rides to get from one destination to the next, then these are great options. You unpack once, you're there, it's a very relaxed atmosphere. You sit back, you enjoy, but you still get to see a lot during the day.
I'm looking at the map right now, and I'm just thinking, like, how cool is it that this is a cruise? We're talking about being on a boat, yet the lines on the map, it just looks like we're on land. It looks like we're just driving or flying from one place to the next, but we're not. We're on, but that's just to give you an idea of what you can see around you. As Marianne said, the barge moves quite slow, and there's a lot of opportunity for sightseeing while you're on the boat because you're completely surrounded by the Champagne region. You're in it as in it can be. So it's definitely something to take advantage of in that sense as well.
And this particular barge starts in Paris. So which is so convenient because some of the other ones like start in Dijon or Arles. And so you're, not necessarily from North America flying right into Paris. You might be having to then connect to another destination to start the barge. But this one starting in Paris is so convenient because you're going to fly right into Paris and you can go right to the barge. Or we also have a short Paris getaway that right before. So you can go do the Paris getaway, experience all the main sites of Paris, and then get on your barge and have this great kind of through the French countryside excursion.
Exactly. So moving on into more of the beauty of Europe. Let's go. So we've got, we're going to Spain. It's a signature tour. We're doing a Venice and the Lakes tour, which is near and dear to my heart, as my family's from up and around there. We have, so like Marianne had just mentioned, Paris. So we're doing a short getaway for Paris, kind of as a prelude for the barge cruise that we had just discussed. And then we also have a Tuscany food and wine tour, which I'm just blown away by, because how could you not want to go to Tuscany and go on a culinary tour of food and wine? But so these are running, Spain's in April, Venice and Paris. They're both in May, starting on the 4th. And the Tuscany food and wine tour, that's September 16th to the 23rd. So if we get into Spain now, Spain has 2 slides here because, like I said, it's a signature tour. So we've done all we can. Oh, and I did not change the pictures there. I apologize, guys. I've just noticed that I did not change the pictures from Paris. So slight oversight on my part there. Just be advised that this is not what you will be seeing if you go to our signature Spain tour, and this is not the route you will be taking. So you want to focus on the text to the left. You will see that those are the inclusions for our signature Spain tours. So like I said, April 13th to the 25th. It's a signature, so we've tried to include all the bells and whistles possible so that you're really immersed into the culture and you're getting everything you possibly could out of going to this beautiful country. So like I said, very interactive, paella cooking classes, a walking tour of, now correct me if I'm wrong, Boqueria, walking tour and cooking class. And then you're going to see, you know, the big cities like Madrid, Toledo, Seville, and Barcelona. But we're also going to be doing a lot more than that. So you've got the entrance to the Cathedral of Segovia and the Basilica, the St. Vincent. You've got the entrance to the Cathedral of Toledo. Down here, we've included a shopping experience for you in La Rosa's Village with a $50 gift, or €50, I should say, gift card. If we move to the next slide here, so you have the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, the cable car ride up to Montjuic. I'm very bad with pronunciation, so please bear with me. Olive oil tasting, breakfast and walking tour, visit the White Villages, a Gothic walking tour, and a dinner and a flamenco show. That's something that I've always wanted to see, regardless if I'm in Spain or not. So yeah, we really packed this one with loads of culture and immersiveness to make sure that when you're going on this tour, you're going to soak in that all Spain has to offer. Now, I've been to Spain. I haven't been to any of the destinations that you guys are going to on this tour. However, I will say it is one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to, with such kind people and unbelievable food. So those are some highlights to look forward to with this one. Marianne, have you been to Spain?
No, I have not.
I loved Spain. I would love to go again. I was only there for a little bit. I went to, I think it was Marbella, and it was beautiful. But this tour has way more than what I had as experienced in Spain. And I wish I had this tour because I was not culturally immersed at all when I went. I just went to a couple of restaurants and called it a trip. So this is definitely something, if you're into history, if you want to know the history of the place you're going to, if you like being immersed into the culture, this is definitely a big tour for those things. Moving on, unless there's anything you'd like to say here, Marianne?
No, I think you covered all the inclusions. I know we didn't have the map, but it is a very inclusive kind of look at Spain, covering, you know, most of kind of southern Spain, kind of the middle and southern Spain, but it's an excellent look at all of this Spain. And I know we did this tour last year and it came very highly acclaimed from everybody on it.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Venice and the Lakes. So this is another boat tour, however, not as private as.
No, it's not a boat tour.
Is it not? Oh, no. I just saw the lakes and I was like, oh, well, they're going to see the boats. They'll see all the boats. But there is, so it is supported by private luxury coach, which we always, I'm sure if you've traveling with us for a while, you know that we try to make sure that all of our transportation is high end, you're comfortable, relaxed. So sorry about that, guys. But it is 11 days, so we've included breakfast every day. We have 2 lunches and 2 dinners throughout. This one is quite interesting to me because there's so, like, if you look at the map here, you can see how Italy's a small country as is, but to see how spread out the places that you're going to from one coast here on and down into Genova. We won't be in Genova, but down in that region over there, it is very spread out, and you're going to see a lot of different things, like St. Mark's Basilica. You're going to go to the the Duomo of Milan, the Villa Carlotta, visit the Gallery of Vittorio Emanuele II. So the Venice and the Lakes tour, something like I said, is close to my heart because my family's from northern Italy. I can't speak highly enough. I've been to Venice, I think 3 times now. So I will say personally, I won't go back, but it is something that I always recommend to anybody considering going to Italy because it's a one-of-a-kind city. It's a one-of-a-kind experience. The culture there, the people there, the food and wine, I don't even have to talk about because when you hear Italy, you know. But yeah, this is something that I would love to venture on. I say that to every tour, and I feel like it loses meaning every time. But guys, I need you to trust me when I say if I could go on every tour we had offered here, I would. So when I say these things, please don't diminish them because I truly mean it when I say this is something that looks pretty incredible to me. Have you done anything like this, Marianne?
No, I haven't done this particular tour, but what I do love about this tour is like that it's such a great look at kind of northern Italy. So you're gonna, you start in Milan, you see the lakes region close to Venice, but you're also getting out to Cinque Terre and the Italian Riviera, and you're gonna see Cinque Terre and Portofino and that area. So it's just a great kind of overview of northern Italy itself, with also like just a wonderful selection of inclusions and like the glass blowing workshop and things like that, which are really distinctive to that area.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And like I said, you're going to get a different experience in every destination here. Like in Verona, you're going to have the marble floors, marble walkways, marble roads, and you're going to have the big buildings, the beautiful shopping, the expensive luxury stuff. In Venezia, of course, you're going to have quite the opposite, not in terms of tourism, but in terms of spacing. Very narrow roadways, uneven, cobblestone roads, all the water, like things like that. So every region in Italy is known for something, and they're different in terms of even the wines they make, the cheese that they're known for, things like that. So you're getting a good, well-rounded look at the North, which makes me very happy because I love the North. So we'll just move on. This is just the quick overview of Paris that we wanted to go over, just because if you did do this, you could very well pair it with the Champagne barge cruise. So like we said, it's 3 nights with superior accommodation, breakfast daily. You'll get a full day tour to Versailles and Giverny. You'll have a full day tour of Paris, entrance to the Louvre, and such. And then you have a Seine cruise with commentary, which I've done, and it's quite the spectacle. And you will have an English-speaking guide with you as well as a tour host, and there's the whisper microphone system. So if you don't know what that is, it's when you have a personal headset so that the person who is guiding you on your tour will be able to speak to you quietly through their mic into your ear without them shouting over you through the bustling streets of Paris. Because if you look at the picture I've chosen of the Champs-Élysées there, You can see the cars are moving fast, but it's never that clear. There's always people everywhere. So it's best to have something in your ear while you're touring this place, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear a thing. So I loved Paris, but this is definitely a super good inclusion to have before you go on the river cruise.
Well, I was surprised. So we've done this tour before, Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised by the number of women that came just for the trip, like just made like just a short little weekend getaway to Paris. And I thought it would only be like an add-on tour to other European tours, but no, we had a lot of women that just came for just to go to Paris for the weekend.
What a life. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then just finishing here with the Tuscany food and wine tour. Now, Tuscany, I've never been to myself, so I'm quite jealous of this one. It's running September 16th to the 23rd. So like we said, daily breakfasts, 4 lunches, 6 dinners. Lots of beautiful inclusions, tour of Florence, a Tuscan cooking class, which I think there's no amount of money in the world that could, I could pay to have a Tuscan cooking class. Like I would spend all the money I could just to get a single Tuscan cooking class is what I'm trying to say. Visit a cheese producer. So obviously cheese tastings, tour Siena and San Gimignano. And then you've got lots of other cool things like a picnic, pasta cooking class. And of course, you'll be accompanied by your English speaking guide and your women's travel club tour host. Have you guys gone to Tuscany before, Marianne?
Yeah, I've actually done this tour before, and it was exceptional and everything you think a food and wine tour in Tuscany would be. In fact, we actually scaled down some of the included meals because there was so much food, and the lunches were so big that it was almost too much. But food, exceptional. There's 2 different cooking classes in this tour. The scenery, beautiful. I truly love it. And the one thing, especially we've talked about kind of prices and such, this tour is actually one that has come down in price. So the price is actually a little bit less than it was previously. But still, same great inclusion, same beautiful accommodations. Truly, this is, if you're looking for a good deal for Italy, this is, I think, it was one of my favorite tours, and B, the price is really good for it.
Okay, so moving on to more exotic expeditions for you guys. So we've got Morocco going March 18th to the 28th, Borneo March 28th to April 18th, Amazon River Cruise October 4th to the 13th, and Bolivia from October 7th to the 14th. So looking at Morocco here, it looks like I have the right map. So Morocco, it's a 10-night excursion. Breakfast daily, of course. You've got your tour of Casablanca, the tour of Rabat, tour of Fez. You'll be getting to go on a camel trek, which is, I think, should be on a lot of people's bucket list experiences, unless you're afraid of heights or camels. You'll be able to have the luxury tented camp in the Sahara, which is pretty extravagant. A belly dancing class. And what I will say about the belly dancing class is no matter what, nobody is going to see you ever again from this place. So just have fun and go all in, because like with most of our tours, we want to make sure we're culturally immersing you as much as possible. So that includes the belly dancing class. But again, airport arrival and departure transferred, of course. And this is an essential trip, so you will have your English speaking guide as opposed to that and the Women's Travel Club tour host. So I actually almost went to Morocco while I was living in Ireland. I don't know why I didn't end up going. I think the flights weren't the best at the time. But you hear Casablanca and you're like, I gotta go to Casablanca. Like, it's one of those destinations that everybody's kind of, what's the word? drawn towards. But yeah, no, I've never done Morocco, but I think it's definitely, if you're going to go to Morocco, this would be the way to do it on a tour like this, where you're going to see so many different landmarks. You're going to hit all of the sites. And it's an essential tour. So like Marianne had mentioned earlier, it's got everything you need to be successful, to see what you want to see and do what you want to do. Like saying at the bottom there, you still have the English speaking guide to navigate you, guide you, tell you what you want to know, answer some questions. However, this is your tour, and you'll have everything you need provided for you going ahead on this tour. Then we have Borneo. Borneo is a country that, or a place that I was a bit, I didn't even know it existed, if I'm being completely honest with you, until very recently. Very full of wildlife, nature. We're doing, so it's March 28th to April 18th. So it is quite a long journey, however, very well worth it. Just going through some of the inclusions here. So we've got, a rainforest kayaking tour, a Beko National Park day trip, cooking class. We always like to try to get cooking classes in there, because what better way to be immersed into the culture than to learn how they cook and what they eat. So then you have a Clearwater and Wind Cave tour. You'll visit the Bornean Sun Bear Conservation Center, an Oxbow Lake boat trip. And your internal flights will be included in this trip, as well as gratuities. And you'll have an English-speaking driver and guide, as well as a women's travel club tour host. So yeah, that's what we have for this one. Anything you wanted to mention about this trip, Marianne?
Yes, because this is a trip I've done previously, and I have to say was one of my favorite trips I've ever done. So much so that I'm going back again, and I'm hosting this particular tour. It is just, it was an amazing destination. The people are wonderful. The jungle, and it's different than anywhere I've been. Obviously, if you're going, you're probably going because you want to see the orangutans. So we did see orangutans both in the reserves and in the wild. The Mulu National Park, which is where you see these caves, is spectacular. The caves they're huge. And I'm sure they must be used in movies, because you can walk in these caves for an hour, 2 hours, and you're still in the cave walking around, but it's not kind of scary and cave-like. It's like lit paths in the caves, and they have lights, and so you can really see the stalactites and the stalagmites, and the rivers inside the cave and such. Like, the caves are something to see. And it's a great mixture of kind of the culture and being out and doing safari type of a tour in the national parks. So yes, I think it's, if you're looking for something different and somewhere you've never been, join me. I think how many spaces left? I think we're only about half full for it. So I think we still have good space. The other thing that we're doing new this year, we do stay at a beach resort for a couple nights, and we have the opportunity to upgrade to an over-the-water bungalow, which they have there. So kind of like what they do in Bora Bora and Tahiti. And the upgrade to the over-the-water bungalow is only like $200. So if you've always wanted to stay in over-water bungalow and see orangutans, this could be the tour for you.
I apologize also for the beeping. I'm getting all the, I should have exited my Outlook.
Me too.
I'm getting all of the invoices now, so I don't know how long that's going to go on. So I do just know that that's us hard at work. That's us making Your trips are booked with no hitches. I should have, I don't know why. I made sure my messages were on Do Not Disturb, but I didn't think of the email. But thank you for that, Marianne. I'm just like, I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I would exit it, but I'm sharing my screen so everybody would see everything. I don't know. Okay, I've got it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna just slide in here just so I can exit my mail and go right back here. Okay. Apologies for that slight hitch, that slight delay. Just moving forward, I don't know why I didn't change the pictures again. I don't know what's going on with me, Marianne. I'm so sorry. No, my brain is elsewhere. but I do want to talk about the Amazon cruise that we have coming, because this is something, correct me if I'm wrong, we're doing in 2025 and 2026. Is that right?
No, I think just 2025.
Oh, why did I think we were doing it in 2026? Oh, my apologies, Marianne. You know what I thought it was? Mekong.
Oh,
that's why. That's why I'm meshing things together in my brain. So no, the Amazon River Cruise is 2025. Mekong we're doing in 2026. I apologize for that. No, however, the Amazon, so it's just my brain. I don't know why I put them together for some reason. But focusing on this one, so Amazon, so you'll start with 2 nights in Lima, and then you'll embark on 7 nights of luxury riverboat accommodations. The reason I didn't include this in the other boat excursions we talked about is because it is not a private boat experience, but no need to panic. It's still one of those things where you're able to not only connect with the members of your group, but the boat is very fun, very experienced. So you'll be able to connect with other members and other tours on this boat as well. So you'll have a selection of exploration tools curated to the destination. So there's the zodiacs word you were looking for, Marianne. So such as zodiacs and glass bottom boats, which is really, really cool. You'll have some stand-up paddle boards, kayaks and snorkeling equipment, and other state-of-the-art gear, just to make sure that your time on the boat is full, I guess you could say. So then you'll have hors d'oeuvres inspired by regional cuisine and locally sourced where possible. You'll have 24 access to snacks, coffees, teas, non-alcoholic beverages, and filtered water. And then you get presentations on your destinations by the staff and expert guest speakers. So not only will you be going to each of these destinations, but you'll have an extra layer of learning that comes if you so wish to learn about these places that you're going to. But I think it's really cool that you'll be able to have presentations to see what you've just, or learn what you've just seen. So you'll also have morning stretch classes, which is really cool, and 24 access to exercise equipment. There's daily excursions. You'll go to the Amazon Rescue Center, the Larco Museum. Park and site entrance fees are included if we need special access permits, and port taxes are included. All the interior flights and airport transfers as well, and you will be accompanied by a Women's Travel Club tour host. So that's super great. All right. And moving. Oh, go on. Sorry, Marianne. I apologize.
No. I think you pretty much covered it. So it is a signature tour. The Amazon River Cruise is it's on the Delphi 2, and it's a very high-end kind of experience. So if you've ever wanted to go to the Amazon, but be very well looked after and very comfortable while you're there, this might be kind of a trip for you. It is, as she said, a very small boat. So I think there's only 12 cabins on it. You're not going to be, with 40, 50 other people. It is a very small kind of unique and high-end experience.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Bolivia. So that's October 7th to the 14th. Excuse me, I'm about to cough. Pardon me. Okay, so lots of cool places and things that you'll see on this tour. So you'll visit the Moon Valley, you'll have the Cable Car La Paz, you'll visit the Azur Museum, the Casa de la Libertad. I'm trying so hard. I feel like my accent changes to like Italian or French or Spanish when it's none of those languages. But yeah, so then you'll have the tour of La Paz City in the Moon Valley, the Sucre City, the Potosí City, the Uyuni with the sunset, and you'll have the English-speaking guide again, airport transfers with the flights, interior flights, and this one is included with a women's travel club tour host. So I've never been to Bolivia. It's never really been on my radar. Have you been there, Marianne?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's interesting.
What I can say, one of the like super cool things about this tour is that you get to stay in a salt hotel. So in the salt flats, they can actually use the salt and they make it into blocks and they build like hotels and buildings out of it. So you can stay in a hotel that's made of salt.
That's really cool. I've heard salt. I went to the salt mines in Poland, and what I learned there is that when you're surrounded by so much salt like that, doctors there's a hotel in these salt mines as well, and doctors in Poland will prescribe people for breathing issues to go and stay in these salt hotels and salt mines because the salt is at such a high concentrate that the air is purer, if that's the word, and it's known to make breathing easier and better for people who stay there. So if you're a little bit of a health lover, maybe that's something that appeals to you as well. It is a healthy hotel as well as it is very cool. So that's fun. Moving into bucket list must-haves. These are kind of things that I deemed as what I would want on my bucket list, I guess. So I've included our Vietnam and Cambodia tour. I think that one's really cool because you hit two countries in one, which is always awesome. Our Tulip Time river cruise, which is something that we run every year. It goes without fail. Everyone loves it. We've got Egypt, so that's November 7th to 16th, and then Mexico for Day of the Dead, which is a super exciting tour that I am the tour host for. So I'm so excited for that one. And that's October 27th to November 7th. So we move here. So this is our Vietnam and Cambodia. So that is running next year, February 4th to the 18th. So it's, of course, private air-conditioned coach. You'll tour the old quarters. We've got Vietnamese cooking demonstration, visit a Buddhist nunnery, a traditional lantern workshop to make sure that we give you guys a hands-on experience. Tour of the Hoi An local market, a noodle cooking class. Again, we love to make sure that there's some sort of culinary experience in there for you guys. You've got the cycle tour of Ho Chi Minh City. And then you've got all these beautiful museums, like the National Museum, of course. Then you've got the War Remnants Museum or the Fine Arts Museum. And then we've also included the internal flights, airport transfers, and you have both your English guide and your women's travel club tour host. So that one is super cool. We actually are doing our travel talk next week with our travel expert, and she will be coming on to discuss this tour specifically. So there will be an email going out this weekend to sign up for that travel talk if anybody is interested in this tour specifically. Egypt, of course, is a bucket list experience, wanting to see the pyramids and the Sphinx and to do the deserts and all of that. But what really, I think, jumps at me for the Egypt tour, again, November 7th and 16th, is at the top there, the 4 nights Nile cruise. The Nile River, one of the most famous in the world, and to be able to cruise along that, I think, is pretty bucket list in itself. But that's just a small portion of what this tour encapsulates. So you'll have a boat ride to the Nubian village with the traditional meals. You have lunch with a local family to really give you that immersiveness. You have all entrance fees to all the included monuments. So like it says, the guided tour of Pyramid of Giza and the Sphinx. You'll have an Egyptian food tour, a guided tour of the Egyptian Museum. You've got the temples. There's a light show. You've got, the 4-night Nile cruise. I don't know why I wrote that twice. And then you've got the tour of Kom Obo Temple and the Colossi of Menmon. Sorry, when two consonants are beside each other like that, I get a bit confused. But yes, so you'll have the excursion to the Valley of the Kings, the Hashfuts, Luxor, and the Karnak temples. And you do have the inclusions of the internal flights to Cairo to Aswan as well. Moving forward. So moving to our rail tours, we have 3 really, really cool rail tours prepared for you guys. So the Rocky Mountaineer, it's very short, as you can see, through the Rocky Mountains of Canada. And then we have our Switzerland rail tour going September 9th to the 18th. And then our Rovos Rail African Trilogy, that is going September 30th to October 16th. And I will say, I don't have a slide specifically for the Rovos Rail. However, I will mention that there is only 1 spot left on this tour. So if anybody is interested in this tour, please reach out directly as soon as possible, or go make that booking on our website, because once you grab it, it's gone. So definitely hop on that if it's something you're interested in. So the Rocky Mountaineer, did you know Kimberly is going on the Rocky Mountaineer, I think fairly soon, for a conference, and she said she promises to give us her full reviewed experience. So I'm excited to see. Kimberly's one of our tour hosts that you saw doing our Japan recap last week, and she's going on this. So I'm really excited to get her feedback on this. But this is a new one that you've just created, correct, Marianne?
Well, we've done the Rocky Mountaineer before. So it's something we're doing again. Those that don't know the Rocky Mountaineer, so it's kind of an iconic high-end luxury rail journey through the Canadian Rocky Mountains. It starts in Vancouver, goes through the Rocky Mountains. You spend 1 night staying in Kamloops, and then you finish in Banff. We actually got the kind of jumped the gun getting the Rocky Mountaineer portion out, because we did get some special pricing and promotion on it. So it is high end. It is an expensive journey, especially when you look at the price and you think, oh, it's only 2 days. And it's pricey, but it's the only train that does this, and it is high end. So the price comes as the price is. But what they have offered us is no single supplement. And so if you're a person that likes to have your own hotel room, you can do this and have your own hotel room in Kamloops for that night, and it doesn't cost you any more than if you were going to share. So that is a pretty good promotion. Generally, we're always trying to get the best we can for single rates, as we have a lot of women who do like to travel single with us. And we're very happy when we can. So in this case, that is the promotion that we have from them. We will be offering a pre-night or pre-stay in Vancouver. So it'll include a couple nights in Vancouver and some touring in Vancouver, and then 3 nights in Banff and touring in Banff. And those will be optional add-ons that you can do either both or one or the other. And those are coming. We just have a supplier working on them for us. And wanted to get the Rocky Mountaineer portion out there as soon as we could, just because it does fill up, and it is quite a good deal with the no single supplement.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Moving on to the Switzerland rail tour that we have. Switzerland is, I've said it since I was a kid. Honestly, I don't know where 8-year-old Allie got the idea into her head that she has to see Switzerland. I still haven't. 25-year-old Allie still has yet to go. I've done the Dolomites, but I don't know. Something about the Swiss Alps just draws me to there. And to do it by rail tour is something that is very special, I think. So if you're looking at the conclusions here, so you have a guided tour of Zurich, a guided walking tour of Lucerne. You have the Golden Pass. Thank you, Marianne. The Golden Pass Railway to both Montreux and to Interlaken. You get to visit the Grossmünster, visit the Church of Saint Leo de Gar. I'm not even going to try to pronounce where that train is going. to Young Farok. I'm going to go with that. You've got the cable car to Matterhorn Glacier Paradise, the boat to, there it is again, Lucerne. And so you have your group arrival and departure transfers, as well as your Women's Travel Club tour host. So this is running from September 9th to the 18th. And I will say, like, 8-year-old Allie wants to go here, but there is a reason that Switzerland is such a coveted destination. It is because of how beautiful it is. The landscapes that you see here, the architecture even, there's such distinct, the water, the mountains, just everything about it. It feels like you're in a little fairy world, or so what I've heard about people who I know who have been here. And to be able to do it by rail, I think is a great way to see Switzerland, because I am one of the people who wants to see it all. And doing it by rail, I think, is the best way to get your scenic views, but to still be able to get off and go into the little towns and things like that to really immerse yourself. So that's really cool. And we have quite a few bookings on this one already, don't we?
Yeah, it's perfect way to see Switzerland. Really, it lends itself to exploring by rail very well. And it has turned out to be a fairly popular tour for us so far.
Okay, so just to make it grand, so the following slide here are just some tours that you guys can kind of pair together. So if you're wanting to see as much as possible, but you don't want to be going on a bunch of different tours at different times throughout the years, here are some groupings that you can do to kind of maybe make your journey a bit longer, but it will be more fulfilling maybe for you if you're able to kind of check more destinations off your bucket list. So starting with Antarctica, if you want to do that tour, you can pair that with our Argentina, Chile, and Easter Island tour. If we're going to be going to India for Holi, then you can also continue with a India Tiger Safari. If you want to do Bali, then you can do Dubai and Abu Dhabi and then finish in Borneo. So it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3 situation, kind of like Marianne did this year with her 1, 2, 3 tours. And Dubai and Abu Dhabi was one of them, I remember. Talking about our signature Spain tour, our Portugal tour, it is in pre-booking stages right now, but it would be a very smart idea if you wanted to pair those 2 tours together, kind of see both sides of the island. Excuse me. We do have a tour going to New Zealand and then a cruise around Australia. Now, the cruise around Australia is a very long cruise. As you can imagine, Australia is ginormous, and we wanted to try to figure out the best way to make sure you see the landmarks you want to see and get the experiences you want to experience. However, we all know that no matter where you live, it is a journey. It is long to get to Australia. So with that being said, if you wanted to kind of get the most bang for your buck, most bang for your time, I guess you could say, it would be a great idea, I think, to pair these two tours together. We've already talked about seeing Paris before the Champagne Barge River Cruise. You could do the Amazon cruise and then Peru, or you can do Bolivia and Peru, either or, whichever you're more inclined. You could do the Galapagos cruise as well as our Ecuador tour. Those pair beautifully together and the timing works out. And then as well, we do have our Christmas markets tours. So we do have a land tour and a river cruise Christmas markets tour, which I think would be really cool and neat to pair those two together, because of course you get the opportunity to see them on land, but you'll be able to have the river cruise experience as well. So I think that is definitely worth looking into. So for coming soon, I just wanted to draw attention to these two active adventures that we have prepared. So one of them is Dolomites in Italy, hiking the Dolomites, and another one is doing the Camino Trail. I actually, thus far, have been dubbed the tour host for both of these tours. I'm really, really excited, especially the Dolomites. My family, like I said, lives in northern Italy, and my mom actually lives like a 30-minute drive from the Dolomites, and my parents go very, very often, and I had the pleasure of going myself recently last year, and it changed my perspective on life, is what I can say to you about going to the Dolomites. It changed how I viewed the world. It changed how I viewed travel, because when you're standing there at that high of an altitude, with the birds flying below you, honest to God, they're flying below you, and you're thinking to yourself, how am I able to be alive and breathing at the same time as all of this? And this is why I now wanted to continue my active journeys and offer myself to do the Camino Trail Tour. And that one, as if you don't know, it is a pilgrimage that you do. It's through both Portugal and Spain. And I can't remember the name of the basilica that you finish at. It slipped my mind. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and now it's lost me. But anyways, I will say that the Camino Trail and the Dolomites, they're both active tours. The Camino Trail is more, of course, grounded. There is going to be different levels to the hike, but not as much as the Dolomites. I will say that the Dolomites do require a lot of hiking ability. You're at a very high altitude, so even if it is cold, you're close to the sun. So those are things to take into consideration. But I will say that it changed my life. So if you are at all interested in doing something more active, as well as seeing one of the most incredible sights you'll see in your life, that's something that I can definitely push you towards. As well as the Camino Trail. So those are two I'm super, super excited about here. But just moving forward to keep an eye out for more, we're in the pre-booking stages for the following tours here. Now, a couple of them we're right close to making them open for booking. However, this is what we have in our pre-booking stages. So Charleston, we've got New Orleans again. That tends to be something that our members love. So why would we ever take it away from you? Nashville, which is a place that has been booming in the recent years with tourism. All of my friends, for some reason, are all in Nashville the past year. So that's a beautiful tour to have added to our itineraries. Quebec, which I'm from Ontario, so that's just my northern neighbor. I lived in Ottawa for 4 years, and I will say that Quebec has some of the most beautiful architecture in Canada that you wouldn't even expect. It is cold. I know if you don't like the cold, you might not want to venture up into the northern parts of Canada, but it is definitely worth seeing. Our Nordic North tour is going to be going out again. That just finished recently with Julie as our tour host, and everybody, she said, absolutely loved it. So if you want to do it again, where you missed it this past year, you'll have the opportunity to do that. We have Alaska, Uganda and Rwanda, Cotswolds and Wales, California wine tour, which I'm super excited about. I hope Marianne's super excited about that one too. It's that's something that I've always wanted to experience. Pardon me?
Oh, definitely.
Right. And then we also will be going to Madagascar and then Yukon to see the Northern Lights. So I was going to include that in the bucket list section as well. The Northern Lights is kind of one of those things that people tend to throw on their bucket lists. But we're just in the pre-booking stages for that right now, so I thought I'd put it here for you. But yeah, so even if you are interested in any of these tours, I will repeat what Marianne said earlier. It costs absolutely nothing to go onto these tour pages and put your name down as a pre-book, to tell us that you are interested, to tell us that this is something that you would like to do. It doesn't mean that you're going to get charged to put your name down, or that when the tour is up for booking, we're automatically going to assume that you're on the tour and you'll be charged. You'll be contacted and whatnot. But it's definitely, if you're interested in any of these things, it's worth putting your name down as a pre-book, because like I said, it costs nothing and it lets us know that there is interest for this specific tour. Is there any notes you'd like to make about these pre-booking tours, Marianne?
No, but I would just quickly, I just want to run through again to recap the tours that we have promotions on, because all the promotions are limited time. So they're not going to last very long. And if you're interested in something, it might be worthwhile. Body Holiday, again, with the flight package out of Canada, is definitely exceptional value. Our river cruises. So that's going to be the Tulip Time River Cruise and the Christmas Markets River Cruise for 2025, both staples of the Women's Travel Club, always very, very popular. We know that the pricing on these cruises has gone up, but we were able to secure pricing well ahead of time, and our pricing has not gone up. So our pricing is very good for 2025 and much lower than you would pay elsewhere. The Rocky Mountaineer with the no single supplement. Australia, which I know we just kind of touched on briefly, which is that very extensive cruise that really gives you, if you're flying all the way to Australia and you want to be able to see as much of Australia as possible, this is an exceptional way to see it, because it truly goes around the whole continent and has many stops along the way. So you're going to see a lot of Australia. It is an exceptional price. It's like half the price of what it would cost for a land tour, and includes all your meals and such as being a cruise would. Also, it's on promotion right now. There's only a $99 deposit to hold your spot. So if you think you're interested, it might be worth getting that kind of secured for $99. And this is actually for 2024, but it's on my list somehow. Our Tahiti cruise for 2024 includes the flights from North America. So from LAX airport, the flights are included in that rate, and a night before the cruise at the Intercontinental Tahiti. So those are kind of the promotions we have right now.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so that's all we had here. I can kind of, I'll stop sharing my screen and come and show now. But mind you, where are you guys? There I am. Hi, I've been a little ill, so I apologize for my look right now, but I'm happy to see everybody. I do apologize. But I hope that this was what everything we wanted it to be. I hope we hit all the marks, all the tours and the destinations that you guys were hoping for. We're always open to hearing from you guys. If you're wanting to go to a destination that we haven't gone to in a while, always let your voice be heard. Sorry, I'm scrolling here. But yeah, so like Marianne said, if any of these tours pique your interest, please reach out to us, whether that be through a phone call, whether you email us, whether you message me on Instagram, whether you message me on Facebook, whether you're on our website and you see the little green chat icon with Marianne's lovely face in the bottom right-hand corner. We're always ready and able to talk to you guys. So I do see we're having great conversations in the comments. I haven't been able to see this comment screen as the presentation's been going because I've been sharing my screen. So thank you. Shout out Marianne for heading those comments and answering those questions over there that I wasn't able to see. But yeah, I see we have lots of questions being asked. Is there any remarks you'd like to? I know you're answering the comments here, Marianne. Was there any remarks you'd like to make?
No, I think that was a good overview. I think there's even more there's tours that we didn't even get to mention or really go through a lot of. But if you do see something on the website and you have more questions, definitely reach out, email, call us, anything. We didn't really go through the Day of the Dead tour very much, did we?
No, the Day of the Dead,
that's kind of something new and exceptional. So have a look through the website, and any questions, let us know. And also every week, Allie will be highlighting something different. So you will see lots of more information coming up.
And just so you guys know, I am heading to India very soon to see what kind of tours, other tours are out there for you guys. So I'm so excited to be sharing those experiences with you. It's my first time, new continent, new country for me, completely new experience. So thank you, Marianne, for thinking of me and trusting in me to do this. But again, I'm always ready and able to be here for you guys, answer any questions. And if I don't know the answer, I will find it for you. I will find somebody who does. So with that being said, Carol there said, thanks, fun and so informative. Love to hear that, Carol. And with that being said, this is where we leave you. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys next week when we talk about the Vietnam and Cambodia tour. Had so many excursions, Great Barrier Reef diving. We had a flight to Ayers Rock. Well, that sounds awesome, Carol. Sorry, I'm still reading comments. Anyways, with that being said, I'm like, we could talk all day, girls. Like, this is the part of the Women's Travel Club I love. It's just, we're all friends. It's a community, and we're always ready to talk to one another. So I'll let Marianne comment there. And that's our cue. So have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Allie.
Thank you.